We are not just thinking about making payments across borders. It's a bit like how Amazon used to sell rare books. This market is the only one that is worth $10 trillion. You are at a defining moment in history. You have said in the past that what you do for money is the same thing that email did for everyone. Forward with the change as a whole. They got it. A huge amount of money is stored all over the world. We're at our best. Is it possible that Ripple could one day take over Swift? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another show of 24 Hours Script. Now let's get to the movie. RL, the USD market is open for business. The price of XRP went up a little, but it's now going back down. Please look at this chart, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that we drew this line a few days ago, and I said I would be shocked if we didn't hit these levels. Wow, go ahead and hit that like button to show how good that line really is. I didn't really change this line. It went right after this line. If you think I should draw another line here, please let me know. It looks like it's following the line. But in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, we can say that after it hangs around here. Okay, this next leg up over $3, here we go. We're now here. Ripple XRP has been looked at by the IMF for a very long time. And people will really get this when the price of XRP hits unimaginable highs. The normal person isn't even going to be able to understand what just happened in the crypto ecosystem. We'll talk about that movie soon. First, though, take a look at all the shorts that will be closed when XRP hits $3. These are the people who are betting that XRP will not go up or down. When we hit $3, their positions will be closed out. You can see that we are getting close to $3. This is just the 5-minute chart. The more risky trade was made after I closed the other one. We made a small profit of about $1,100, and I'm also trading on other sites. And we went in hard. I kept a close eye on this, and we got in as soon as I thought it was bottom. Okay, I know this sounds crazy, but we got in just right. I chose high leverage because, as I already said, I'm looking at this very carefully with 50/18 leverage. For those of you who are interested, the link is in the text below. Don't mess around with a lot of force, please. Use as little as possible, but if you use my link in the text below, you'll get a bonus. As soon as you sign up, you get $10, and then you get another $50. You will get that reward if you deposit $100, any digital asset, or $200. It doesn't matter what kind of digital asset you deposit, Bitcoin, XRP, USDC, or USDT, it will count. Now let's talk about how the IMF works closely with Ripple and has done so for a long time. It turns out that all the papers we've been following on this channel are true. Also, even though RLUSD is now available, it hasn't fully hit all the major platforms yet. It's going to happen. Slowly but surely. Core market cap hasn't changed how much Ripple is worth in dollars yet, but folks, we are just at the start of something huge. Plus, after you watch this show, you'll know that the IMF has a lot to do with rippling XRP and has been working on this for a long time. You'll see the bigger picture, and this is the end of it. At this point, the price of XRP has gone up so much that the normal person probably won't want to buy it. If they did want to buy something, they might as well choose Cardano, Solana, or Ethereum. A lot of those kinds of questions are going to come up for them. That's it. All of the people who have been collecting over the past few years deserve congratulations. However, the IMF made it very clear a long time ago and everything was found out. Now we can see how all the pieces fit together. Kristalina Georgieva's clip will be the first one we show. She replaced Christine Lagarde as managing director of the IMF, and now she works for the ECB and looks over DLT technology. Listen to what she has to say here. She talks about the Singapore FinTech Festival, which we'll look at in more detail in a paper. Listen to what she has to say. I don't understand why they bring this up because it's so 2017, however, it does fit with what Larry Fink said. Libra woke people up, but it turned out to be a false alarm. More obedient people will show up. Please. Which company that deals in digital assets is the most honest right now? Then CBDs would be a safe and inexpensive choice. That brings up Larry. What did he say in 2017 that they are still talking about in 2023? No matter what kind of sign it is, the exchange of foreign funds needs to be made more open to everyone, so I agree with the Libra idea. I don't think we need to make a new currency. Instead, we should develop the technology to instantly adjust all the currencies. Now let's listen to what she has to say. It is very important to plan the right equipment. It would have to be cheap, stable, and reliable for the blockchain I just talked about to work. It has to make sure that goods and contracts to trade them can work with each other. These digital currencies from central banks can be very important in putting this new financial system together. It is very important to follow foreign rules like those against money laundering and to be consistent with other countries. Goals for policymaking. I also want to stress that we have been talking about this subject for a while now. These are the sites I talked about at the Singapore FinTech Festival, those virtual town squares that make transactions easier. I mostly talked about how tools help currencies work with each other, while today we're talking about how assets can work with each other. So she says that building the right infrastructure is very important. And she talks about systems that are fast, stable, and safe. She also says that assets and CBDCs need to be able to work with each other. It will be very important for putting this new banking system together. How does that sound to you? Because it is naturally interoperable. It can be linked to other central bank ledgers to make deals between assets and countries more efficient. It has to make sure that goods and contracts to trade them can work with each other for cross-asset and cross-border deals that go smoothly. XRP can be used as a bridge currency, or cross-ledger communication methods can be used to do this. In the current system, institutions have to take on more risk when they do business across various networks or currencies. This lowers that risk. She then gives a hint about being in line with world standards. Ripple was also at the Singapore Festival. She also talked about a project called Guardian that makes networks open and able to work with each other. Please pay attention. Take a look at the people who helped with this. There is a link between HSBC, DBS, Standard Chartered, and Ripple. There is also an indirect link between UOB and Ripple. There is also SBI Digital Asset Holdings on X by JP Morgan, which uses USDC, and USDC will use a digital asset like XRP to scale their systems, okay? Let's keep going. Pay attention to this under settlement. The way that the network settles disputes could be something new and interesting about it. Understanding how settlement works in practice and how certainty of settlement is protected by the law is important for this reason. Their plan is still not set up. This is going to get crazy because the DTCCC payouts alone in 2022 were worth $462 trillion a year. And that's just the DTCCC. And it gets even more interesting because of what they said about liquidity next. A lot of central banks and financial institutions are studying and testing DLT right now through proof of concepts, but these efforts aren't quite good enough for large-scale use yet. As there aren't any clear responsibility or service-level agreements in public permissionless platforms, it's possible for them to go down. There are also a few methods that fail, and financial institutions will never use them again because they know they will fail again. The second level of scaling for Ethereum didn't work. The power went out. This year, don't forget that Solana failed. Solana's announcement makes the crypto world go crazy. Even Bitcoin is getting backed up, which is not good at all because it means transactions take longer to complete. Then there are fees that are hard to predict. BTC, one of the senders, had to pay a $3.1 million transaction fee. That is something that can't be changed. So picture moving billions of dollars overnight and then getting hit with a fee of $500,000. Hit the like button, people. This video is only going to get better from here on out. So where do we end up? We talked about the power outages that might happen. Listen to this now, please. Going to approach. So DBS and SBI Digital Asset Holdings are working together to see if it is possible to use liquidity pools to buy and sell foreign exchange and government bonds, which would put at risk tokenized Singapore government assets. To begin, talk about trading government bonds for money in other countries. Now, remember what Joe Villano from Ripple said about settling bonds and how they're used all over the world? They're also working on a lot of projects that are covered by NDAs, but pay attention to this. We have projects going on around the world with different central banks that use wholesale CBDC and some of the work that Ripple does. One that stands out is our work with the Central Bank of Colombia to see if a WCB-CBC can be used as a credit risk-free settlement asset for government bonds as part of their high-value payment system. Now think about some of the chances that are out there in those markets around the world to tokenize financial assets like company bonds.